All right, let's talk about space. We're going to dive into some of the most genuinely mind-bending facts about our universe. I mean, we're talking about planets made of pure diamond, stars that spin hundreds of times a second, and all the totally bizarre things that happen to the human body when you leave Earth. But first, let's just try to get a handle on the sheer scale of it all. Try to wrap our heads around it. Picture this. You're holding a single grain of sand, okay? In the grand cosmic scheme of things, that's our planet Earth. Now, think about all the beaches, all the deserts on our entire planet. That huge amount of sand, it's still just a tiny fraction of the observable universe. In our sun, which feels so massive to us, it's just one of over 100 billion stars in our galaxy. To really put that into perspective, you could cram 1.3 million Earths, 1.3 million of those little sand grains, inside of it. And here's the kicker. Our sun isn't even a big star. It's pretty average, actually. So here's our game plan. We'll start our journey right here in our own solar system. Then we'll push out beyond the stars, take a look at what happens to us humans in space. And finally, we'll get into the really mysterious stuff, the vast, unknown universe. Okay, let's dive into our cosmic backyard. Because even here in our own solar system, things get weird, and they get weird fast. So think you've got a decent vertical leap. Well, on Mars, you'd instantly be twice as good. And on the Moon, you could jump an incredible 10 feet in the air. It's a really fun way to actually feel how different the pull of gravity is on other worlds. Okay, pop quiz for you. What's the hottest planet in our solar system? You'd probably guess it's the one closest to the sun, right? Makes sense. And if you said Mercury, you're not alone. But you're also not right. The real answer is Venus. Even though it's the second planet from the sun, it has this ridiculously thick atmosphere of carbon dioxide that just traps heat. It creates this runaway greenhouse effect that makes the surface hot enough to melt lead. Seriously. Now, check this out. We think of Mount Everest as, the pinnacle of height here on Earth. But honestly, it's absolutely dwarfed by Olympus Mons on Mars. This thing is a colossal volcano, and it's nearly 3 times taller than Everest. That makes it the largest one we know of in the entire solar system. And then you've got Saturn. This planet is so light for its size. I mean, it's so lacking in density that if you could find a bathtub big enough to hold it, it would float. Just imagine that. The only planet in our solar system that could float in water. All right, now let's leave our solar system behind. Let's venture out into that galactic abyss where, the laws of physics get pushed to their absolute limits. The next time you look up at the night sky, I want you to remember this. You're not just looking at stars, you are literally looking back in time. See, light doesn't travel instantly, so the light from some of those stars has been traveling for millions of years just to reach your eyes. You're seeing them as they were when that long journey began. And the universe is just full of these incredible surprises. With some amazing technology, scientists have found a planet called 55 Cancri E, and they think it's made mostly of diamond. Just try to imagine that, a planet twice the size of Earth that's one giant sparkling gem out there on the cosmos. And hey, if you think the Earth spins fast, get a load of this. Some neutron stars, these are the super dense, collapsed cores of giant stars, they can spin more than 500 times in a single second. I mean, that's a day that's over before it even starts. So, what happens when we humans actually go out into this strange new world? Let's take a look at the bizarre realities of what this environment does to us. First off, to survive out there, you need a little more than a good jacket. A single NASA spacesuit costs around $15 million. And that's because it's not just a suit of clothes, it's a personal spacecraft designed to keep you alive in literally the most hostile environment imaginable. And life in zero-G is just weird. You can't cry because without gravity, your tears just clump into a ball and float around. You can't burp because there's no gravity to separate the gas from the liquid in your stomach. And you can't even hear someone shouting right next to you because in a vacuum, there's no air to carry the sound. Oh, and you want to be taller? Go to space. Without the constant force of gravity compressing your spine, the discs can actually expand, which means you can grow up to 2 inches taller. It's a temporary boost, though. You shrink right back to your normal size once you're back on Earth. Okay, here's a wild one.
In the pure vacuum of space, if two uncoated pieces of the same kind of metal touch each other, they will permanently fuse together on contact. It's called cold welding, and it happens because there's no air or water separating the atoms. It is a huge challenge for engineers trying to build spacecraft.
So far, we've only talked about what we can see, but what about the rest of it? The parts of the universe that are completely hidden from us? Well, that's where things get really mysterious. This, to me, is the most mind-blowing fact of all. Everything we can see, every star, every planet, every galaxy we've ever observed, it all adds up to just 5% of the universe. The other 95%? Well, that's made of dark matter, this invisible stuff that holds galaxies together, and dark energy, a mysterious force that's actually making the universe expand faster and faster. And sometimes that mystery sends us a postcard. Back in 1977, a radio telescope picked up this powerful 72-second signal from deep space. It was so unusual, so unlike anything else, that the astronomer who found it just wrote, "Wow," on the computer printout. We have never heard it again, and to this day, we have absolutely no idea what it was or where it came from. So that leaves us with the big question, right? What's hiding in that other 95% of the universe? I mean, if the tiny little sliver we can see has floating planets and diamond worlds and all this other weirdness, what other discoveries, what new kinds of physics are just waiting for us out there in the dark? The only way to find out is to just keep looking up.